Charcoal is one of the most beautiful drawing mediums in classical art. It allows for deep blacks, soft transitions, and subtle modeling that are perfect for portrait drawing. But a lot of beginners struggle with it. Charcoal can feel fragile, unpredictable, breaks easily, produces dust everywhere. Many beginners become frustrated because their work looks rough or smudged instead of refined. So how did artists like Pietro Annigoni manage to produce drawings that feel so controlled and elegant and perfect? The answer is simple. Two things make a huge difference: good materials and a sound working process. Let's take a closer look. The number one thing you need to know is that not all charcoal is created equal. One of the main reasons beginners struggle with charcoal is the material itself. Many inexpensive charcoal, the willow charcoal, are brittle, fragile, and impossible to sharpen properly. They crumble under pressure and produce uneven marks. This makes it very difficult to draw precise shapes or controlled values. A common example is soft willow charcoal. While it can be useful for loose sketches, it often has a hollow core that breaks when you try to sharpen it. You can never really sharpen it into a fine point because of this hollow spongy core. The result is a blunt tool that forces you to draw with very vague and uncontrolled strokes. A much better option is to get an artist quality charcoal that's designed for precision and that's designed to be sharpened and that has several degrees of hardness: soft, medium, and hard. Many atelier schools and art academies recommend a brand called Nineteenth charcoal, which is known for being much stronger and easier to sharpen. I'm not sponsored by Nineteenth. I've worked with them in the past. They are just awesome, and I just use their charcoal simply because they are the best. They're the best because they come in different levels of hardness, allowing you to control the darkness or softness of your marks and how hard you press, how much pigment you put on the drawing board every time you press on the charcoal stick. And you'd be surprised how much, with the right medium, Nineteenth charcoal, and a sandpaper to sharpen it into a fine point, drawing with charcoal becomes far more predictable, a lot less messy, and incredible to create those beautiful gradients that are needed. If you want to learn more about my drawing method, you can check out the Systematic Drawing Method, my brand new 10-hour plus drawing course with everything you need to know to take your drawing skills to the next level. A simple charcoal setup usually includes some charcoal sticks in several hardness, as we said, so the B, HB, and 2B, a kneaded eraser for lifting highlights and correcting shapes, a sandpaper block for sharpening the charcoal to a precise point, a chamois cloth, good quality drawing paper with enough tooth to hold the charcoal properly, and a mole stick to support your hand while working so that you don't put your hand on the surface of the paper. You also want an easel that would allow you to work vertically. Avoid using charcoal on a sketchbook or on your lap or on a table. It doesn't work. You want to use charcoal on an easel. So let's see how to work cleanly with charcoal, because that's the challenge here. Charcoal has a reputation for being messy. While it's true that charcoal produces dust, much of the mess actually comes from poor working habits. Professional draftsmen follow a few simple rules to keep their drawings clean and realistic. But, as we said, you want to work on a vertical or near vertical easel. When the drawing is upright, the charcoal will fall downwards instead of spreading across the surface and creating a mess on your drawing. This prevents accidental smudging and also makes it so that you have less of an idea of always putting your hand on the surface, which is something you typically do when your surface is almost horizontal. The next thing to do is to use a mole stick. Resting your hand on the drawing will inevitably smear charcoal all over the place, and the mole stick allows you to support your hand without touching the surface. This is a great habit to take if you want to one day switch to painting, because it's the same thing for painting. You don't want to put your hand in the paint. Third, you want to avoid using your fingers for blending. This is a big no-no. Fingers leave oily marks and often create some very poor transitions. Instead, what you want to do is build the gradients very softly with those well-sharpened charcoal and controlled strokes, and eventually use a couple tools like tiny brushes or shaper silicone brushes to make those transitions perfect. But typically you never use your finger for blending. You don't smudge the charcoal with your finger. That's not a proper technique. It's no wonder it looks dirty and uncontrollable if you're using a dirty technique to get started. Another common mistake is overblending. Many beginners try to smooth everything too early, which removes the crisp texture of the drawing in the grain. You know, when you have a line with charcoal, create those tiny, crispy little lines, and it removes that. And that's very tempting because charcoal is so good at, blending. It's almost feels like paint. However, this is a mistake. You don't want to overblend like that. Charcoal is very versatile. It's a very fluid medium, but if you do that, you will absolutely lose control every time and your values will be all over the place. It's much better to control the values and construct them deliberately rather than smearing them together all the time. If you look closely at Anigoni's portrait, as we did the demonstration in the Atelier this week, the transitions are smooth but controlled. They're not smeared with a big blending tool. They are done very cautiously with the charcoal. The softness comes from careful layering of charcoal and attention to detail, working with great sensitivity in the grain of the paper. And this result couldn't be achieved from aggressive blending. Charcoal is indeed just dust, but with clean working habits, it really can become a very precise drawing instrument rather than a messy one. Good materials and clean technique are important, but the most important element is the process itself. Atelier training typically follows a structured sequence that breaks drawing into clear stages. This prevents the artist from jumping into details too early, or let's say start by blending everything, which blending typically is something you do near the end. The process, as I teach it in the Atelier of Figurative Arts, unfolds in 5 major steps. One is the block-in. This is the stage where the overall proportions and placement are established. We draw the large shape of the head and the features with very simple lines. We try to go from mark to line, and accuracy here is crucial because no amount of beautiful shading can fix a badly placed feature. We really want to make sure that we have solid foundations before we can move on with the rest of the drawing. 2 is massing. Once the drawing is structurally correct, we then start to go in the smaller shape and try to refine and make all the pieces of the puzzle fit together. This stage is still about proportions, like the block-in, but this time it's more about finesse, and it's all about transforming line into edge and line work into shapes. Stage number 3 is the values, and at this stage the artist develops the value relationships. Now we really focus on how dark or how light each areas are. And with charcoal, it might be tempting to start with values right away, but this would be a mistake. The values have to come when the foundations of the drawing have been clearly established and the proportions are right, the shapes are good, and everything is in place so that you can then simply implement the values. One of the biggest beginner mistakes with charcoal is starting right away trying to do some shading and blending, because it's so easy to do with charcoal. It's so good at this. But if you start shading too early, then the key foundations of your drawing aren't clearly established, and of course it's going to create something messy, uncontrollable, and not realistic at all. Now, we all know that the best part about the charcoal is modeling, so blending in a way. Modeling and blending aren't the same, but you do a lot of blending to do modeling. And we only do that in the end. This is stage 4 out of 5. And it's only now that we start thinking about blending. We didn't think about blending before. We thought about values. We wanted to establish clear values. First, clear proportions, then clear values, and then we start doing some shading and blending properly. And we avoid over modeling. So we avoid doing all the blending with, something like our fingers or a big blending tool. We always do modeling and do a little touch up with the charcoal. It's the charcoal that's the main tool for the modeling, and the kneaded eraser. And if sometimes we use other tools for blending, we always make sure to do a little correction and to finish with the charcoal. Rendering is the final stage, and this is where the artist really refines the textures, make all the delicate transitions, and this is often the stage where most of the mistakes will happen. Typically for beginners, if you don't follow a clear methodical process like the one we use in the Atelier, this is typically near the end that most of the mistakes will appear, simply because the more you go, the more visual information, the more visual data you have to make the decisions. And near the end, you have almost all the visual data that you need, and you start realizing that, some things are off. Fixing them in the end is a lot of trouble. So what I recommend is follow the well-structured method of the Atelier so that you don't have to figure this out in the end. Normally rendering is all about finishing with things like details of the eyelids, subtle highlights that will be a great way to bring some artistic focus on what truly matters in the drawing. So charcoal, it's not difficult because it's unpredictable and messy by nature. It becomes difficult when the artist lacks the right materials or the right method. When you use strong, sharpenable charcoal and follow a structured drawing process, the medium becomes remarkably precise and allows to create pretty much anything you want. Charcoal is the very essence of what it means to draw, and also the best transition if you want to one day take those skills and start painting. The beauty of the medium comes from the discipline in the artist. Check out this video next, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, my friends, joy and inspiration to you. Bye.